one car deliberately, but championship coming up in this, so again I've got to learn it. McGann TTs. It's a case of how long can you survive in the lead. Even off the line would be good. I'll be alright. Yeah, it's such a shame with the VR. I think I'm sticking to 2D. I mean, this is what, race 2, 3, 2. Having taken the headset off, and I'm now starting to get back into 2D mode. There we go. It's dark. Gonna go down the inside. Might not have the speed actually. Oh, maybe this Genesis isn't quite so slow in the straight lines. God, it's crap getting into corners. Yeah, but anyway, the VR is just like, you're just losing too much. All the pros don't use it. All the content creators don't use it. Oh, he's gone. And the thing is, when you're quick, in 2D, the only thing you can be, if you try some other method, is about the same. Or, in other words, it's kind of like being in a queue of cars on a motorway. When someone brakes, everyone else has to brake, and the person behind can only overcompensate on braking. They can't brake less. And that's why you get queues on motorways, because everyone brakes a bit harder, a bit harder, a bit harder, and suddenly going from 70 down to 60, down to 50, down to 40, down to 30 to a dead stop. And it's the same kind of thing with the VR. It's just like, if you can do laps within 0.5% to maybe 1% of world record times in 2D, which is what I do all the time, then if I switch to 3D and VR, if I improve that by even a tiny bit, it would be great. But because you're almost in a zone of perfect car positioning already, you're only likely to be slower. It's like overcompensating on the braking thing. You could only really go backwards. If you're not very fast, or even just plain slow, maybe because you do struggle with braking markers, braking points, accuracy, precision, and the stuff you get in 2D and have to have in 2D, then maybe you will be faster in VR. But you still might be overall slow. But when you're already fast in 2D, the only way you can go is backwards. Most likely, the law of averages say, there's a lot more scope for you to go backwards than there is for you to go forwards in terms of lap time. Forget losing in a peripheral vision or this. And that's another thing I was just thinking about actually with the mirrors. Your mirror in the 2D is bigger, and it's on your screen. It's at a glance of your eyes, and it sees more than the VR mirrors, even wing mirrors or rear view mirrors. It sees more. It sees more track, more depth, and more information. It's wider, so it sees more behind your car. So not only do you have to turn your head in VR to see the mirror, you actually see less in that mirror anyway. And the 2D mirror, I think you kind of almost look at it in your peripheral vision, and that's why I think I feel, and many people do play VR, feel more blind in VR, even though they can turn their head and look around, than they are in 2D, because that mirror actually gives you a lot more information than it really should. And I was going to do a side-by-side comparison of that, and I think I might actually, because that needs to be detailed. I mean, forget the proximity indicators, and you're not getting the leaderboard on the left and all this sort of stuff that you're missing in VR. Just the fact that if you're already almost maxed out on lap technique, lap time, speed, blah blah blah, the chances are you could improve that 1%, half a percent to 0.9% or 0.4% behind world record times. But the chances are you've got a lot more percentages to lose and go backwards. And that's the ultimate problem for me. And I'm not prepared for the adjustment. I don't know if the adjustment takes 3 months, even a month, you could persevere. 3, no. 6, no, because the amount of races I'm going to miss out on is ridiculous. But I might try open wheelers. I think you might be alright on open wheelers in VR. Looks like they've caught me now. So this is where the fun begins. That again is going to be way quicker in a straight line. Probably better, well, it's going to be better into corners in this thing anyway. I've had to put the brake bias to the rear. So he's through. How many more are going to get through? If we're staying his slipstream on straights, I might be alright. Oh, he's gone deep. Just enough deep. That twitch. His car twitches on that track change. Squeezy. No, good. Oh, this is going to be fun from here on in. And would I see? I mean, when he was sort of down the inside there on that corner, I could see him in the mirror. In VR, I would have seen nothing. I'd have just seen blank track behind me. I tell you now. Plus, I had the proximity indicators, which you don't really look at, but you don't have to. They're big red markers which appear in your peripheral vision. You don't need to look at them directly. So that's why I feel like I've got more spatial awareness in 2D, because I'm used to information which gives me more spatial awareness in 2D. So yeah, there's no way I'd have seen him down the inside on that second part of that chicane. Oh, and there he goes again. That was my... couldn't get the braking right now. That was crap. But I can still see him in VR. I wouldn't know he's there. I would be having to guess, I reckon. So there's too many cheats. Oops. Too many cheats and advantages into 2D. Is the game's designed? Leave him space. The game's designed around 2D. VR was added as an afterthought, and that's obvious, and everyone knows that because it was added as an afterthought. It was about a year or so later. He's going to do me on straight line speed. Yep. So the VR was added as an afterthought, and all the little things you get in 2D are based around the game designed for 2D, and that could ultimately be why the 2D is faster. And there's people saying, nah, I'm faster in VR. No, you're not. You just weren't fast in the first place. Because if you're faster in VR, all the esports and all-stars players would use VR, and they don't. And that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. So it's like ABS. Do you use off, default, or weak? All the esports pros, all the all-stars, all the fast content creators, they all leave it on default. So I leave it on default, and default works. Anyone who thinks weak or off is good, no. You were never maxing out the braking in the first place. The game's designed around not really having any braking feel, so you have to have the ABS on default because that's what the game expects. That's how you get the most out of the game. That's what it's designed around. And anything else is just plain kidding yourself. Anyway, less talking, more driving. So, is he going to get any inside? No. Maybe you get that like shadow thing that happens as well when someone gets really close behind you. There's kind of a shadowing thing that happens around the edge of the screen. You get used to that as well. You don't get that in VR, obviously. So you know when someone is really, really, really close to you. Alright, so is he going to do me on the straights? On the straight 3, less than 4 tenths. Might be able to hold him off actually. Genesis is crap on turning. It's a bit twitchy on the bumps, especially on these traction position changes. No, see that little shadowy moment. I know he was inches away. Yeah, it's crap on in turning into corners. So I had to put the brake bias towards the rear, but this is going to be a hectic last lap. Sort of then, I can't weave with 3 of them there. 2 of them. Or has he gone deep enough though? Has he gone too deep? Got to leave him room. Oh, that might be it then. That's not the Megane I might be able to compete with, but that Mazda's way too quick in a straight line. Try and hold him on the brakes, pressure him, back to him to some change. It just hates that, this car. Yeah. And he knows I'm there. I know he knows I'm there. In VR, I know he wouldn't know I'm there. So, even that Mazda, the 10's is quicker than this thing. Got a hope of staying in the slipstream. I did that pretty well actually, that corner. Given that I haven't really mastered this track ever, because I hate it. And close is all you can get. Oh, he's a bit slow on the throttle there. Oh dear, he might be getting massive understeer. This is quality race, this. I wouldn't be having this in VR. I would just get sold too easily on dives and moves, and things though I've left space at the inside I probably wouldn't have done in VR, and then you'd have had contact, maybe not a spin or anything, but it would have slowed you down, you'd have been sliding around, they pushed off into a dirty line, got dirty tyres, all works against you. Oh, that wasn't a good exit. He's going to defend the inside though. Right down to the last corner. I've got to get a good exit here, otherwise... Oh, he's leaving me loads of room. Well done, respect. But surely that Mazda 3 is just going to... No. Overspeed me past on the straight? He's not. Ah, man, that was quality. That was so close. That was some awesome racing trying to hold that lot up. About, what, 5 of them? Wouldn't have been, send your dues. Wouldn't have been able to do that without decent functioning wide angle mirrors. No way, no way.